Right, one of our big stories of the morning. It's in our headlines and it is very fitting to be discussing it here at the World Future Energy Summit. ADNOC Distribution launching one of the world's largest superfast EV charging hubs right here in the UAE. Very pleased to be joined this morning by Jacqueline El Boghdadi, who is CMO at ADNOC Distribution. It's lovely to see you again. Good morning.
How are you, Brandy? Good to see you again.
As the owner of an EV,
I know that from the last time we were on the show together.
not even pretending to be neutral on that one when it comes to infrastructure. Right, how large is large and how fast is fast?
So it's the sixth largest actually in the world and the largest in Middle East, North Africa and Turkey.
What exactly makes an EV hub an EV hub though? We've got 60 chargers, but beyond that?
So there are three things and they're rooted in customer insights. The biggest barrier to customers adopting EV today is two things: charge anxiety and range anxiety. So the first thing that is a barrier to me moving to an EV charger is, when will I charge next? Can I move between cities and Emirates? And basically an EV hub is rooted into that. We have a plan to electrify the 8 main highways in the UAE, linking the Emirates together, and accordingly an EV hub is on your way as a customer without having to change route or do a detour. So that's the first piece of the insight. The second piece of the insight is 60 chargers in one location, which means whenever you go, you don't have to wait, you don't have to have the anxiety of, will I find the charger empty or not? And at the same time, when you change from fuel to an EV, something changes. The fuel takes you 3 to 4 minutes, and EV charging takes up to 20 minutes. So on those extra few points, what we try to do is to make sure you're super productive during that time. And we have different retail offerings that cater for that to enable you to spend time during those few minutes to do things that you want to do.
You said 20 minutes there. How fast are these chargers and how do they compare to the chargers that you already have at ADNOC stations?
So on the EV hubs, they're all super fast chargers, which means that it can take you from an empty battery to an 80% in less than 20 minutes.
So what are we talking there? 300, 400 kilometer range?
180. So it takes you to the full range of the car. So most of the cars would charge less than 20 minutes, depending on its range, but then the maximum is that 20 minutes.
What kind of usage were you seeing at your stations to tell you that we needed something that was 60 chargers large?
Okay, there are a few things depending on who charges. One, we have a lot of partnerships with taxi fleets and actually business to business as well, which are very important as the UAE has this net zero by 2050 and this ambition to electrify mobility. So that's one case. The other one is the ability to serve commuters. And our insight is there are a lot of commuters that today would think twice before taking their EV car between cities, and accordingly having that much charge on one of the main corridors across the UAE is key. And that's why it's 60 chargers. Aside from that, it comes from the concept that we newly launched in November, which is the Hub by ADNOC. And accordingly, it offers more than just chargers. It's a hub that offers F&B, coffee, core services on top of the fuel and the EV. And with this one specifically, because it's a commuter first hub, we're testing for the first time working spaces, because the insight that we have is that consumers between cities are usually commuting for business. And accordingly, during those few minutes that you're charging, you might want to take a call, you might want to send an email, and accordingly we created a space for that we're testing and we're very excited about.
How busy, how utilized are your EV chargers at the moment?
Most of our EV network is around within the range of the utilization across the globe, and that's why we
Which is
build.
what?
It's around 15 to 20%. It's within that range.
Does that mean that during a working day, you're busy 15 to 20% of it?
It doesn't get calculated this way. I might not be the expert on EV technology to tell you exactly how the team calculates it. However, what it tells you is what we benchmark globally and more EV mature countries. What is the right utilization rate? And we expand and build our EV network in line with that utilization targets to make sure that what we built actually has a return on investment.
Which is my question. I'm wondering what the ROI is for you for taking that space out of the forecourt from petrol and giving it to EV, how the two compare.
They actually quite comparable, and in some cases EV actually from a margin standpoint is a better business. And that's why what we try to do and we build is a future ready business. We're not doing it just for the sake of doing it. We have a very solid ground with a business that actually is very economically sound.
Okay, so where's it going? We've got this one hub now on the E11. You've got a couple of charging stations in a lot of your forecourts. What's the plan to roll this out further?
So basically by 2026, what we plan is to have 15 hubs by the end of 2026 with 20 hubs by end of 2027, which will make us by the end of 2027 electrified all the main highways of the UAE.
So those hubs, will they be purely EV or will they be a mix?
There will be a mix, of course.
What's the competition for EV charging look like at the moment? What's it based on? Is it based on speed? Is it based on price? Or is the infrastructure such that it's purely who's closest?
I think that, again, based on the consumer insights and the research we do, we believe the most basically a unique proposition that we're trying to build is to make it customer first. It's as seamless and in your way so that you don't have to change your habits as a consumer. And this is what we're trying to do, and that's why we chose the highways today. And I think anyways the UAE needs the infrastructure from everybody. In ADNOC Distribution, we chose that one because it's rooted with this consumer insights. We believe it's a winning proposition, but then consumers have different needs depending on where they are as well.
Yeah, I guess what I'm asking is, at the moment, I know for me it is purely, right, what's closest and what's a relatively fast charger. But as the UAE does build out this infrastructure, are you in your business proposition looking to be faster, looking to be cheaper, looking to be more accessible? What do you think the customer's going to be won on?
We try to make seamless mobility and journeys to the consumers. And accordingly, what we're focusing on is the speed. It's on your way, you don't have to do any detour, and it's really digitally savvy. So accordingly, it makes your life easier. You don't have to have anxiety. Will that charge work? Will I go and be able to do it? It's a plug and play.
Thank you so much for joining us, talking us through that this morning. Jacqueline El Boghdadi is CMO at ADNOC Distribution. They've just opened their first EV superfast charging hub. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Randy.